there, they turn it back again, they add something and turn it again. And while that is happening, something else is in the pot, cooking and boiling, and the man is laughing. And it starts to change shape, others change color, others change texture. Many things happen under fire. Can I tell you, nobody goes through fire and comes out the way you entered. No. For some of you, the fire will change your shape. For some of you, the fire will change your color spiritually. For some of you, the fire will change your appetite. My encouragement is, let the fire do its work. Let the fire do its work. Let the fire do its work. It may be painful. The fire may come as a temporal lack of finances. Let the fire do its work. The fire may be having several certificates, and yet it does not seem to bring you anything. I'm telling you, sometimes it's not the devil. Let the fire do its work. There is good waiting for you at the end. Is someone learning? Number 3. So number 1, to test your loyalty and commitment to fulfilling your vision. Number 2, fire builds patience. Number 3, you know what fire does? You know what process does? Process helps you to appreciate the success of other people. It helps you to honor and appreciate successful people. When you do not pass through fire and you don't have process, you may not be able to appreciate the sacrifices and the results of others. God allows us to pass through these seasons of process so that you would not downplay results when you see it. Can I tell you this? We live in a world where it is very easy to talk when you are not the one in the football field playing. You sit down outside in the stadium of life and you are watching people playing, and the person misses the ball and the person is tired and breathing, and you are watching and saying, just this guy would have just dribbled now. What is just dribbled? And you would have just passed. And you do not know that your own match is waiting. Sooner or later, God puts you, and in 10 minutes you are tired. He says, no, it's 90 minutes. Keep going. Are we together? It is easy to commend when you are standing outside and you are not the one actively involved. So a process helps us so that we can appreciate what successful people went through, whether in ministry. Listen, as I grow in ministry and as I grow in leadership, I'm cultivating a renewed regard and respect. I've always known this, but I'm knowing it even pragmatically. You know why many times when you are teaching in conferences, is pastors you see crying in front and sometimes rolling on the ground? Because most of them are in the middle of those things. They were commentators before they started ministry. After 10 years, they came to the realization that you will really need to know some things. How about many young people? It's easy to see our parents and those who have gone ahead of us and to mark their scripts and write all kinds of things and say, this is my father, I don't know where he was when all his colleagues were making it. Now you become a father and you are surprised you have BP because of his school fees of 50,000, and yet your father trained 8 of you. We ate meat only on Sunday. They're about to throw you out of your house, you and your wife. At least your father was able to provide that. Let me tell you this. Do not commit to people who do not go through the law of process. They will not have an appreciation and a regard for others, especially for the great. Are we together? This is very, very powerful. A very deep and powerful mystery. 2 Corinthians 11:27. 2 Corinthians 11:27. This is Paul. In fact, if we had time, we would have read the entire span. But he was saying something here. When you begin to read from verse 20 down to 29 thereabout, he said, in weariness, in painfulness, in watchings often, in hunger and thirst, in fasting, in cold and nakedness. He was saying, don't you think I just became an apostle by luck? These were some of the things I went through. You see, when you see great people, Because of the way the palace would decorate you and perfume you, you will not smell like the prison again. But make no mistake, it was from the prison you got there. Are we together now? Yes. Most people who criticize and most people who are involved in talking about people, it is because they do not have track record of greatness. Let me tell you the truth. When you go through the law of process, you will appreciate great people with profound respect. Wow. This man had to go through this to become a pilot. This man had to go through this to become a chartered accountant. This man had to go through this. There are people who will not be able to pastor 100 members effectively. The trouble of 100 members will depress them till they almost plunge into depression. And yet you see a man leading a ministry of thousands of people and say, all these people, they are just lucky. No. Sometimes God helps critics by giving them opportunities. The way God helps critics is by giving them what you are criticizing. God will give you as a gift, or you take, and then you will see it as a breakthrough, and by yourself. There are many people who can criticize. Am I not also anointed, say for instance? And God says, okay, let me give you open doors, and you will preach for 3 months non-stop. At the end of it, you will sit down and you will search, which topic have I not preached? Leadership, I said it the other day. Oh, I preached that day on Abraham. I've preached about him. And then you will now know the man who does 3 services or 5 services or preaches about 8 sermons every day, and he has done it for 3 or 4 decades without fail. You now know that these people have something to say. Are we together? My uncle is such a greedy man, doesn't give anybody money. No problem. God helps you by giving you your first 5 million. And as soon as that 5 million comes, somebody will say, please, we need a surgery. It's just 3 million we need. Otherwise, somebody will die. And I saw you in a vision. And God said I should come and seek help. That's when you will know that. So it's not easy like that. In the vision, I saw someone giving you 5 million. Is that true, sir? You don't know whether you should lie or tell the truth. Now you know what it feels when you tell people, just give me money anytime, and they keep giving you. Let me tell you the truth. Until you are there, just keep quiet. Let me repeat myself. Until you are there wearing the shoes, just keep quiet. Is God speaking to us? What number now? Number 4. Why does God pass us through processes? Are you ready? To create memories and experiences in our lives that will help us sustain the success that is before us. To create memories and experiences that will help us sustain the success that is before us. It is very powerful. Why do we go through processes? Why do you have to subscribe to the law of process? Because there is something that you go through in those seasons of pain that will help you to be able to manage greatness. Can I tell you, ask anybody who has tasted of genuine greatness, there is a skill it takes. Many years ago, I had a dream, and in that dream, a man of God in this nation, he was standing on stage, and I was invited to come and preach. I considered myself from that dream that, how could I be given this great platform? And then when I came in the dream, I found out that you were not standing on the ground like this. It's like you have to climb the pulpit and stand. And it was so slippery. When I stood there, I had to hold it and say, is this, I'm just trying to gain my footing. And yet the man was standing there very easily. I woke up from that dream and I said, wow, there is a skill to standing here. It's more than just facing the pulpit. There are those who didn't stand well. They didn't even stand up to 2 years. If you see people standing here, all you see is not all there is. So let me tell you this. There are many people today, respectfully speaking, not to downplay your pedigree. By the time you see 10 million, 100 million, 1 billion, You will run in a way that God must ask you what he asked Adam. Where are you? I can't find you again. I can't find you again. It's not only your pastor that cannot find you. Where are you? Your wife can't find you. Your children can't find you. Even your destiny cannot find you. Where are you? So hold on. If God knows that that is the weight of honor he's bringing, he will subject you through a season that no matter the level of lifting, the memory of what you went through, do you think Joseph will waste his opportunity like that? I've taught you here, after many years of being in the prison, no, he would maximize destiny. Most people waste greatness because they really did not pay any serious price for it, especially for those who inherited it. There is a difference between, respectfully speaking, someone who just inherited wealth and blessings just like that, and somebody who started from -1 before you got to 0, before you now started climbing. They are disciplined, a lot more disciplined. Mismanagement many times is because we do not have a history and a track record of process. Are we together? Yes. When pride wants to take over your life, the Holy Spirit can easily pick one story from your life and remind you, remember where I brought you from, and quickly you call yourself to order. Woe betides a great man who does not have a history of experiences where the Holy Spirit can pull from to put your life in order. You will not go far. Are we together? Finally,